When I was 12 years old, I climbed Mount Whitney with my dad. Mount Whitney is in Inyo National Forest in California. It was the first mountain I had ever climbed. After that climb, I knew what I was going to do. I was going to climb mountains. I loved being above everything else. The trees looking like toothpicks, the big rivers looking like small streams, and the clouds so close I could reach out and touch them. When I was 14, I climbed Mount Kilimanjaro. Mount Kilimanjaro was in Tanzania, in Africa. Climbing Kilimanjaro was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, until this year. Now I'm 17 years old, and this year I tried climbing Mount Hood in Oregon. This was the first mountain I had ever failed to climb. Climb to the top. Although Mount Hood is only 11,250 feet, the snow changes the entire experience. I have had to turn around early on hikes before due to weather, but on Mount Hood I turned around because I was scared. I was scared because I had never done anything like this before. Started out with my dad and I flying to Oregon. The next morning we drove to the trailhead. The guides taught us how to use crampons and ice axes. After learning how to use crampons and ice axes, we took a snowcat up to a log cabin 5,000 feet below the peak. We went to bed at 6 o'clock and we woke up at 3 in the morning. I was so tired I could barely walk. We put on our boots and began hiking. The first mile was always hardest because I was still warming up and getting ready to walk. About 45 minutes in, I told the guide I needed a break. He told me that we would take a break after we hike a mile. I started slowing down. I was out of breath. I went to the back of the group so I could hike more slowly. When we stopped, I instantly took off my jacket, drank water, and sat down. I told the guide that I needed to quit. I told him that I was tired, which I was, but the real reason I wanted to go back is because I was scared. The mountain was so steep it looked like a cliff. The guide told me that we didn't have enough guides for me to turn around. I had to keep climbing. There was only another 1,000 feet of elevation to the top. The guide said that we had to use ropes for this part. The idea of needing ropes to climb scared me. The fact that it was as steep as a cliff scared me. I told the guy that I couldn't make it to the top. At this point, another guide met us. He had already climbed to the top, and he was on his way down. I said goodbye to my dad while he climbed to the top. I left our group and began hiking back down with the guide. We got to the cabin and waited for the rest of the group to come back. At first, I was sad that I didn't go to the top. It was my fault I didn't go to the top. I was strong enough physically, but not enough mentally. I didn't like to talk about it. This was the first mountain I ever failed climbing. But after a couple of days, I realized that what I did was okay. I knew that I could always just try again. I learned that failing isn't always failing. I could say that I didn't get to the peak, but I could also say that I climbed up to 10,000 feet in the snow. Just because I failed getting to the top doesn't mean I failed the entire climb. This was something new to me. This was something that I had never done before. It is common to fail something new, but if you keep practicing, then you can succeed. I know that in life there will be times when I fail, but now I know I can always try again. And I know I have still plenty more mountains to climb. Thank you. I also got to shout out. Nick, you're a reasonable friend. Paulo, you're the youngest looking one here. Ian, your Bronco is not a truck.
That is.
No, it's not. Trevor, you're weird but cool. Joe, hiking.
It's walking.
Hiking. I don't know if Gavin's here, but Ford is better than GM.
Wrong.
Family, thank you very much. Mr. Wilkins, there's so much to say.